What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Deontay Wilder has landed himself in hot water once again in regards to comments about taking another fighter's life. He mentioned in an interview he wouldn't feel no remorse if he killed Dominic Breazeale in the ring. Dominic Breazeale is of course Wilder's next opponent. Those two guys have beef, and yeah, the comments from Deontay Wilder have gained him some criticism, and it's not the first time Deontay Wilder has said such comments. Obviously, in the build-up to the Bermane-Stiverne rematch, he said something similar. He said that he wanted to get a body on his record, meaning he wanted to kill somebody, and back then he got a lot of criticism. Now, to me, I'm not offended by these comments whatsoever, and I will get into that in a minute. But people who are offended, you really need to take Deontay Wilder a little less seriously. This guy is a certified weirdo, let's be honest about it. I mean, he's a man who has expressed his desire to experience pregnancy. This is a man who has displayed levels of delusion that are unparalleled in the heavyweight division. And all in all, Deontay Wilder is just a bit of a clown, to be quite honest. I don't really take what Deontay Wilder says seriously. I care about what he does in the ring. In the ring, he's a very dangerous fighter, big puncher, athletically gifted, tall, lanky, rangy. He's a very good fighter. But outside of a ring, the guy's a clown. Let's be honest about it, he's a clown. Don't take what this guy says too seriously. It's all hype in his Steven Seagal voice. You know, he is what he is in that sense. But from my perspective, the reason I'm not really offended, I mean, listen, we all follow a sport called boxing where the worst possible outcome is death or serious injury to the point where the guy involved may not be the same man again. They are the worst cases in boxing. They are the worst outcomes. We all know that, whether we like to admit it or not, and we still choose to support such a sport. We all support the sport financially, or we have at one point. You know, we all talk about the sport, we discuss it, we, you know, basically grow the popularity of a sport. We are all contributing to a sport where people can lose their lives, or people's lives can change drastically by suffering a bad injury. So for me to turn around and say, oh, I've got a really big problem with what Deontay Wilder said, I would be a bit of a hypocrite, because I'm still supporting such a sport where these things can happen. What kind of leg do I have to stand on if I start criticising Deontay Wilder when I'm making it possible for him to take part in such a sport? It makes no sense, you know, it makes no sense. And listen, I've never had an amateur boxing fight, never. I've only sparred, I've messed around in boxing gyms for years, but I've never taken it any further. But even sparring, you know you can get seriously hurt, or, on the flip side, you can seriously hurt somebody else. But I still went in there knowing that. And that still applies if you're competing. You know what you're signing up for. You know what the outcomes could be. You make that choice. And, you know, for people saying, well, Deontay Wilder shouldn't be saying that sort of thing, he shouldn't be actively trying to kill someone, yeah, maybe not, but, you know, Deontay Wilder, he's not the first fighter and he won't be the last to say things like that. You know, Mike Tyson, years ago when he was active, he said he would try to throw an uppercut to drive the nose bone into his opponent's brain to kill them. That's what he said. And, you know, Deontay Wilder, he's not the first guy to say something along these lines. Even Roberto Duran, he's said a few questionable things in the past. But it's part of boxing, it's reality. And unfortunately, those sort of things can happen. And we as fans know that, and they as fighters know that. Does that mean we want it to happen? No. But people just need to accept it for what it is. And yeah, people need to get off their high horse and, yeah, see it for what it is really. You know, I think people are being outraged for the sake of being outraged. I don't really see the big deal. Maybe you may think my viewpoint is wrong, but that's how I feel. I just don't feel it's right for me to sit here and criticise such a statement when I'm supporting such a sport. To me, it makes no sense. Share your thoughts below. Peace.